Okay, next up on the How Much to Keep series is the running back Rashaad Penny, a guy who really grew on me during his time in Seattle. I went from not really feeling much of any way about him to really appreciating him as time went by and really understanding what made him special in the NFL. Unfortunately, I only get to appreciate it every now and then because he doesn't play a lot. But when he does play, he's proven to be special. And this one's going to be really hard because of that. How do you evaluate the value of a player who averages over 6 yards a carry when he's in the game, but then he only plays, like, if you're lucky, half the games? And we are now looking at a pretty long track record of devastating, season-ending, career-altering injuries for this guy. So this one is going to be a little bit tricky to figure out here. So let's look at what we've got here. 2022, the most recent season, Penny got off to a good start. He played in 5 games. He had 350 yards from scrimmage, 6.1 yards a carry. For the little bit we were using him, we used him a surprisingly little amount to start the season. He was playing effectively, efficiently. He was what we thought he was going to be, and then he gets hurt. And it's yet another injury in the career of Rashaad Penny, and I wouldn't be shocked if the team decided, okay, we need to move on here. We just need to move on from Rashaad Penny. We like him. He's good. He's exciting. He's fun. He does cool stuff. But we got to just turn the page here. But with that injury, with what he did last year, comes an opportunity to maybe give him another shot here. It shouldn't cost a lot of money. And if he does stay healthy, you know what you're getting. You're getting an extremely productive, explosive player who, again, I have grown to really appreciate. So let's try to figure this one out. So 2022, he played the first 5 games, was playing fairly well. Again, 6.1 yards a carry. Then he got hurt. Now, the previous year, he kind of did something similar, except he was playing really good at the end of the year. At the end of the year, he came on like a freight train, had 750 rushing yards, averaged 6.3 yards a carry, and had his best games of the year at the end of the season. That's very different. So when you look at last offseason when Penny got, let's check here, 1 year, 5.75 million, you might say, well, he's the same player, so he should be getting the same amount plus a little bit more because the cap went up. So maybe you're thinking 1 year, 6 million. I don't think that's the case. I don't see how he gets more than he got last year. In fact, I think he's going to get considerably less. One more injury, 1 more year. I just don't think the offers are going to be out there. Also, as much as I like Penny, I do think there is a valid point in describing his limitations here. He's not a great receiver. He's got 27 career catches in 5 seasons. He's got 222 career receiving yards. He's not a great receiving back. I think he has made strides as a blocker, but overall he is just a running back. He's not much of a receiving back. And I do think that holds his value back a little bit compared to other guys. Nevertheless, this is still kind of hard to parse out here. I'm going to do what I can, and to do what I can, I'm going to go back to the previous offseason here. So let's take a look at the contracts that running backs got last year and what they did to earn those contracts. Let's start with, we're not going to do Fournette because that was a little bit of a different thing where Fournette is somebody who's a big name and he was playing in a lot of playoff games. He's going to get paid a little bit more than he probably should because of the rep he built up in Tampa Bay for a couple years. So let's start with Chase Edmonds here just to kind of illustrate the fact that I don't think Rashaad Penny's going to get a pay bump to like 1 year, 6 million. Because Chase Edmonds basically got 6 million a year. He got it for 2 years, but 6 million average annual value. What did he do to earn that money? Let's take a look here. He played in 12 games in 2021, averaged 5.1 yards a carry, and was also great as a receiver. He gave you over 900 yards from scrimmage for Arizona in 2021 for a team that ultimately made the playoffs, by the way. So you look at that and you go, yeah, I don't think Rashaad Penny can put his production and his play up next to Chase Edmonds and say, I should be getting paid what he got paid. No. So let's go further down the list here. Let's go to Cordarrelle Patterson, who got 5.25 from Atlanta. Again, across 2 years, actually, by the way. Now, let me address that point real quick here, because when you're evaluating Rashaad Penny, I firmly believe Penny's going to want a 1-year deal because he's going to want to hit the market again. He wants to have a big year, hit the market, and then get paid. That, I think, is what he should want, and that's what I expect him to do. So I'm not expecting Rashaad Penny to want a multi-year deal, especially now. He's trying to get that one big year where he can go get big money, where he can prove he can stay healthy and go get paid. So Cordarrelle Patterson gets 5.25. What did he do the previous year to earn that? Played basically the whole season. Had not a great yard per carry average, but he was also a great receiving back. He had over 500 yards out of the backfield. He gave you over 1,000 yards from scrimmage and also 11 touchdowns. So, no, I don't think in terms of production, we're in the Rashaad Penny tier yet. Next guy would be J.D. McKissic. He got $3.5 million a year. What did he do for Washington the year before to earn that money? Let's just pop in here. Missed a good chunk of the season. Okay. Was an okay running back, but was mostly just a really dynamic receiving back. And he was one of the best receiving backs in the league, I think. Over 40 catches in just 11 games, 600 yards from scrimmage. So I don't think we're there quite yet, but we're in the right category here. J.D. McKissic plays differently than Rashaad Penny, but ultimately there are a lot of similarities, I think. Let's go with Brandon Bolden, the running back who went from New England to Vegas in this offseason. And what did he do in 2021 to earn that money? He averaged 5.1 yards a carry on limited carries and was a really good third down back. 40 catches, 400 yards, 631 yards from scrimmage. Played in every game. So I think we're in the right area here. I think that what Penny gives you as a running back is canceled out a little bit by what Bolden is giving you as a receiving back. And at the end of the day, you can look at this and say, hey, there's relatively similar production. And if you go down one notch more, you get to Melvin Gordon, who got $2.5 million flat for 1 year. You go to Melvin Gordon, what he did in 2021, he played the whole season. Decent, passable efficiency, 4.5 yards a carry, was an okay receiver, did give you over 1,100 yards, but he had a fumble problem, and he was also getting up there in age in a way that Penny wasn't. So I think when you get to Melvin Gordon, you've gone a little bit too far. So it seems to me that if you take everything into account here with Rashaad Penny, you should be looking at something between 1 year, 2.5, and 1 year, 3.5. So I'm going to take the difference there, say 1 year, $3 million. It's a big, big pay cut from what he took last year, but I think that's necessary. He didn't produce that much. He got hurt again. It's a big injury, and I just don't think there's going to be a necessity to give him a lot of money. So I think Rashaad Penny, you put this all together, you put it into the machine here, you look at guys like Marlon Mack, who is a whatever player at this point, getting $2 million. You look at other whatever players like Damian Williams getting 1.6. I don't think Penny's belonging down there, but I do think he's going to belong in that area of about 1 year, $3 million. Would I give Rashaad Penny 1 year, $3 million? Yes, but you have to bring in another running back on top of Rashaad Penny, maybe in the draft, but you cannot depend on him to be healthy. You give Rashaad Penny 1 year, $3 million, and if he gives you like 7 good games and gets hurt again, it's okay. Rashaad Penny, what he does in those 7 games will be worth $3 million. So that's what I'm going to say. Maybe it bumps up to 3.5 because the cap has gone up, but it's going to be in that range, and I'm okay with it. You just have to cover your bases a little bit. You have to bring in another player who can replace Rashaad Penny in case he gets hurt again, because, sorry, I think we all kind of know what to expect with Rashaad Penny now. He's probably going to get hurt. It sucks. But what he does for you when he's healthy, even if he's only healthy for a handful of games, I believe is worth it. So 1 year, $3 million, let's get it done.